McMain.
Well, heck yeah, we appreciate you sticking with us. We got a fun show in store for us today. You know the show's going to be fun when we are joined by our very own Les Lane. Les, thanks for hanging with us today, my man.
Good morning, guys, or good afternoon. How are y'all?
Well, fantastic. And you know what? You're elevating the show. Just the energy that you bring in the studio when you hear it's that those years of experience to make this place better. So we appreciate you hanging out with us.
Y'all couldn't get anybody else to do this?
No, you're first on the list, Les.
We wanted you.
You're first on the list.
No, I'm tickled to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
You were first on the sub list.
Yeah.
No, you were number one.
First one off the bench.
That's right. First one off the bench. A little bit, we're going to be hearing from Steve Warren, Elvis impersonator. Is he an Elvis impersonator, Les, or is he actually Elvis himself? Because I don't know that Elvis is really dead.
I think he's the guy.
He is him.
I think he's the guy.
Yeah, he's aged well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
He's been
Looks
in that
just like
hyperbolic
him,
chamber.
sounds just like him.
Wow.
You know, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck.
It's him.
It's got to be.
Yeah. Impersonator.
Yeah.
No, this is it. Addie and Shane from Striplings, they're going to be talking to us about all the wonderful things that you can go and get for Christmas from them, including if you decide to cater your Christmas dinner. I highly recommend it. We did it for Thanksgiving. No cooking, no mess, just having fun with your family and eating some fantastic food. So we're going to hear from them. And then our good old buddy, David Earl from Franklin's Gun Store, is going to call us with the fishing report. Now, I'm going to make a guess. He is not on the water today. It is too cold.
He likes fishing in the cold. He says that it's still a good time to
I don't know.
fish.
The fish probably have their jackets on. They're huddled up around a fire. They're not biting anything.
Let me
so.
tell you what, David Earl would drill a hole in ice to
There you
go
go.
fishing.
Yes.
That's right. I wonder, we got to ask him that, Les, if he's ever been ice fishing.
Ooh.
I bet he has.
That's a good
Yeah.
question.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And he's going to tell us a whole about a bunch of stuff going on at Franklin's. I don't care if you're not into fishing and if you're not into hunting, you've got somebody in your family that is, and that is a great destination to go and do some of your Christmas shopping. So that's going to be a lot of fun. In the second hour, we're going to continue our journey of having these conversations with just regular people. These are small business success stories. These are regular folks like you and me, Les, like you and me, Chastity, that have gone on to really just knock it out of the park in the small business world. These two guys today are my good buddies, Marc Engelbrot, Trey Long. They're just local guys who saw them on the street. They drive a regular car. They dress like me and you, but they are rock stars in the small business world. And we did this earlier in the week. We had Michael Aslan, one of the smartest guys I've ever met. He is the owner or the founder of PharmMD On Demand and Aletheia Health. He was special, wasn't he, Chastity?
Yes, super smart.
Yeah.
We need more time with him.
He was great. Now, I'm going to warn you, Trey and Marc are not as smart as him.
Okay.
But they're smart. But I can say that because Trey and Marc are good buddies of mine. They're my pals. And then we had Rob Scott from RAC Properties, another brilliant man.
I heard
Yes.
that interview.
Yes, that was great.
Great success story.
Isn't that He goes in the Navy,
Yeah.
Struggling
Yeah.
to figure things out,
Making some wrong decisions.
makes some wrong decisions, goes in the Navy, gets his path on the right track,
Yeah.
and then starts his family young.
Yeah.
That's tough, Les.
Yeah.
Navy, you're not making big pay.
It's not easy. But look at him now.
Look at him now. Yeah.
As Toby Keith would say, how do you like me now?
Oh,
See, that's what we bring Les
love
in.
it, yeah.
See, this show's already better. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Les, I queued up a couple little fun facts and stories. I like doing a little digging before we get into our interviews.
Sure.
And the first thing that I found was a story about a drone that was carrying food and contraband to a prison in South Carolina. Now, let me tell you what was on this drone. It was steak,
wow.
crab legs, a little bit of marijuana, and a carton of cigarettes. So, they're living life large at this little prison in Bishopville, South Carolina.
I wonder if that was an Amazon Prime delivery.
Yeah, I don't know if you can get marijuana on Amazon. But
So
you get,
I'm assuming they got caught.
yeah, they got caught all right. Prison authorities seized the drone Sunday morning and are investigating the incidents, but no arrests have been made. So there's not like a return to address on this. They didn't put, if this drone is found, please call Betsy Lou at, 555 whatever.
No return address.
No. But
So is this the only time it came into the prison, or do we know if it's been in several times before and this time it just got caught?
so I'm assuming that because they say they've noted that drones have increasingly been used to smuggle contraband into the prisons.
Sure.
It's obviously creating an ongoing security problem because it's not just steak and lobsters and pot. Sometimes it might be a shiv, better known as a knife.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe it's another weapon. Maybe it's
Yeah.
something dangerous. Could be a cell phone that they're bringing in there. You know, if somebody's maybe in the cartel or in the drug dealing business. But they say flying a drone near a prison in South Carolina carries a misdemeanor. Probably should be a felony.
Sure.
Well, maybe if you're caught, delivering contraband, a felony. But what I was thinking of, Les, so they had the Shop with the Hero the other day at the Loganville Walmart. Mm-hmm. And that is put on by the Church of the Grove, or Buddy Russ Butcher, and all the great heroes that go to participate. And as I was leaving, Walmart has this massive section carved out in the middle of their parking lot. It's literally like a security fence,
right?
And they have their drone program now.
Yeah.
Did you know that was going on?
I have not seen it. I saw it online, like a lot of folks have.
Yeah.
It's the way of the future. Pretty soon, you cannot drive through my neighborhood or stand in my driveway for 5 or 10 minutes without seeing a delivery truck go up and down my street.
Oh, yeah.
Some of my neighbors, I don't think, have been inside a Kroger in years.
No, you're right.
Because all the food is brought to their front door.
Brought to their front steps.
It's the way of the future. Sort of scary. You mentioned the drone going into the prison. Technology is great until it gets into the wrong hands.
Yeah, that's right.
Here's a fine example of the drone.
Yeah,
taking steak and lobster and God knows what else.
A couple of joints.
Enjoy your after dinner meal.
Whoever that inmate was living large or about to live large, but he was eating prison slop that night because his steak and lobster got gobbled up. But I was thinking about this, this drone program, and this is a real sophisticated deal. Unless there had to be north of 20, maybe 30 drones that they had tabled on this chart on the ground. So it had this landing zone where they would get charged, and then the packages would be attached to it. And there's a couple of employees there that I engage with, super nice folks, excited about the program. They're a third-party contractor to Walmart that executes this. And these are not your mom and dad's drones. Mm-hmm. These things are the size of, I would say the size of a huge suitcase, right? They're probably, no bigger than that. I would say these drones are maybe more like 4x4, 5x5.
Pretty
right?
big.
Wow.
Big. And I don't know how big of an item they can carry. I'm assuming still relatively small, probably not a lot of weight. And they said their range is limited. It's within, I think, 3 to 5 miles of that location in Loganville. So my question for you, Les, does this work at the Monroe Walmart when you might be delivering to Good Hope, or what are some of the other small towns? Gratis? Can you imagine one of these drones flying over Gratis? I don't know. What would the life expectancy be of a drone flying over some of our country folk that like to listen to the station that might feel that their privacy is being invaded?
Well, my first religion is Baptist. My second religion is redneck. And there's a lot of us out here. Okay? And it's hunting season.
It is hunting season.
Okay? And I can just see some of us good old boys sitting in the back of an F-150 or Silverado or a Dodge Ram going, what y'all think that is? Then all of a sudden you hear...
And then the next question is, what's our limit?
Yeah, exactly.
And not that do not shoot down a drone. But if you were going to, would you use like a 7-shot, 6-shot? You got to be sure that you wipe
we're
those
probably
propellers.
giving out some bad ideas.
Yeah, I think so. Do not shoot down a drone.
We're not saying do this.
Yeah.
This is something that you would see in the movies.
Yes, this is all about convenience.
Or in Walton County.
I did tell them, though, at the Loganville Walmart, the drone operators, I said, please rethink this before you move over to the east side of Walton County where I live, because those drones may not last.
Well, hadn't Pizza Hut and some of these other fast food delivery places been using drones already?
Have they? Yeah, probably in the city. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. In the city, they have the robots. So the robots go down the sidewalk, and inside the robots, basically, if you ordered something, put in your code, and you open up the seat or wherever, and there's your item.
And there's
stored.
your item.
It'll bring
nice
it
and
right
hot
to
and fresh
you.
and ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was down at Georgia Tech back in the spring for girlfriend's daughter's graduation. And they've got these mobile robot drones everywhere. I mean, they're running up and down the streets of Georgia Tech.
Like on wheels?
Yeah, on wheels.
Okay. What are they carrying? What are they toting?
Food. Basically food.
So it's like a delivery system or just vending stuff?
Like Uber
And the
Eats.
thing is, we're walking down the sidewalks or on the campus of Georgia Tech, and these things are everywhere.
Wow.
And the thing is, it's got eyeballs, I guess, because If you
It
get in
sees
front of
you.
it, it stops
Yep.
or goes around you
Yep.
or tells you to get the heck out of the way.
But it doesn't collide with you and create a
No.
lawsuit.
And it'll even tell you its name. They have names.
The
Each
drones,
one.
drones have
Yeah.
names. Yeah, that's very important. Very important. You're listening to the Marc McMain Show. Our guest co-host today is Les Lane. I got Chastity, our producer. We, Les, I read another interesting story that Australia has implemented a ban on social media for children under the age of 16. So that means 15 and younger cannot use your popular apps, and this covers 10 major platforms. This is your these are the who's who of the apps. It's Facebook, Instagram. Now, those are really not, Facebook's not really a kids app that much, but this is where the kids are going to get mad. TikTok, Snapchat. I don't use TikTok or Snapchat, so
The only
I
thing,
follow that.
by the way, the only thing I'm on is Facebook. That's it.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook.
I'm not smart enough to use the other.
Well, and I don't mess with the other ones either. I use Facebook, but it's going to ban them from all of them. The other one, Twitch, Threads, and Kick. I've never heard of those. I love this idea.
Yeah.
Me too.
I love it.
Well, let me tell you what's going to happen. A 15-year-old and a 16-year-old is a lot brighter than you and I when it comes to technology.
Sure.
They'll figure a way around it.
Yep.
I mean, it's just a matter of time. And I would imagine, when did they put this into effect? You got any idea?
I think this was recently. It
Okay.
says, it doesn't have a date in here.
Okay.
But yeah,
I would imagine that there's some 15 or 16-year-old that's already cracked the code. It's probably back on that format of social media. But I think it's a great idea. Social media, in my opinion, it's great, but it also can be a negative, too, at the same time.
Well, and Les, when we did our little children's health series a couple of weeks ago, one of the common denominators that kept rising and bubbling to the top when it came to problems with children were social media apps. And it's not, it goes back to like what you said, there's not necessarily anything wrong with these apps. It's the overindulgence, right? Yeah. It's when all of a sudden 4 or 5 hours of your day are dedicated to your face staring into this little device. And look, we're all guilty of it.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, I do too. You end up kind of, you want to find out what's going on. So I use my phone for news sources, for communicating with people. Sure. But for a young person who's 14, 15 years old, I think it is absolutely dastardly when you're spending 4 hours a day. Because look, 14-year-olds aren't running a business.
That's right.
And so their operation on their phone or their screen time is, in my opinion, wasted time. Yeah. So I'll be curious to see, if, like what you said, does this get actually executed the way Australia wants? Is it effective? Yeah. Are there workarounds that are going to be easy?
Sure.
And then B, does this spread to other countries in areas?
My gut tells me it will spread. Again, I guess Australia is the testing ground to see how it's going to turn out. Some schools have already put into their new rules as far as in the classroom.
That's right.
No cell phones.
That's right.
No cell phones. You give it to the teacher, you have to turn it off. I don't know how that works. But I can't imagine when I went to school, of course it's a one-room schoolhouse, little house on the prairie type thing. But can you imagine you or I in a classroom holding up a cell phone and not paying attention to the teacher? How do you get the job done of learning?
They would have cracked their knuckles back in the rulers. See, up north where when I was a kid in Michigan, whipping kids with the paddle was not allowed. When I moved down to Georgia when I was 10, I found out that was actually that was still going on in schools here in Georgia. Did you ever get a spanking as a youngster in school?
Got a paddling.
Got a paddling, yeah.
I told a bad joke.
A bad joke got you paddled? Well, how bad was it?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. All right. But anyway, it's in a PE class. It's a bunch of guys, okay? And we told this joke. One of the coaches heard the joke. He goes, "Let's go tell that one to the principal." And oh, no.
How old were you?
8th grade? How old are you in 8th grade?
What, 12?
13,
12, yeah.
12, 13 years old? Yeah.
Mercy.
Yeah, they were just trying to teach everybody a lesson. But you talking about being paddled in school? My 3rd grade teacher, I still have nightmares about this. Great teacher. I'm not going to mention her name. But she wore an apron in class every day. And on the side of that apron was pockets. And big pockets in the front. On the side pockets were rulers. And she walked around like Clint Eastwood with two guns on each side. she would not miss a lick. If you were talking in class, nodding off in class, or just not doing what you're supposed to be doing in class, she could pull those 2 rulers out and knock you upside the head or on the palm of your hand before you could blink twice.
She used them like nunchucks.
Exactly.
Bruce Lee.
And it got our attention. And you look how I turned. Well, that's a bad example.
Hey, you turned out great. I think it's a testament that it worked. You're listening to the Marc McMain Show. Real quick, funny story, Les. So when I lived in Michigan, I was probably 8 years old. Again, they did not allow paddlings in schools, in public schools. It wasn't permitted.
Yeah.
But my 3rd grade teacher, I'll never forget, again, I was misbehaving, probably not unlike what you were doing when you were in 3rd grade. I was sassing off or doing something.
Yeah.
And I actually liked this guy. He was a good teacher, with the exception of this one day when he snapped and he grabbed me by the back of my head and the back of my britches, and he chucked me head first like a bowling ball into a bunch of chairs. And back then, think about if something like that happened today, oh, mercy, there'd be lawsuits and all kinds of news cameras on. And back then, the first thing my mom says, "What did you do wrong?
Yeah.
What did you do to deserve that?"
I know Chances you got to take a break here, but I got another story similar to that.
Yeah.
And it was my fault, and we'll talk about it when we come back.
That sounds good. You're listening to the Marc McMain Show. When we come back, more stories from Les and Steve Warren. Elvis impersonator, or is it Elvis himself? We'll be right back.
One of the fun parts of Christmas is the dazzling light displays. Some are tasteful and elegant. Others are a little over the top. Whether gaudy or gorgeous, it's hard to imagine Christmas without lights. Yet very few realize why light is so important at Christmas. Man is naturally drawn to spiritual darkness. The Bible says light has come into the world, but people love darkness instead of the light. Here's the hard truth. The light of Jesus exposes the sin in my heart and yours. Fearing that exposure, we reject him and choose to remain in the dark. Bad mistake. His light keeps us from stumbling through the darkness. Christmas is the annual birthday celebration of Jesus, the light of the world, who came to dispel the darkness. Christmas lights are a reminder of Jesus, who overcame the spiritual darkness of this world. This is Bryant Wright, wishing you a Merry Christmas, speaking right from my heart.
For devotions, visit rightfromtheheart.org.
Looking for that perfect piece of jewelry designed just for you? At P&A Jewelers, family owned since 1976, we've been helping our customers shine for nearly 50 years. Now proudly run by second-generation brother and sister team, we specialize in custom jewelry design, expert repair work, and fine jewelry for every occasion. Visit P&A Jewelers, where family tradition sparkles. Located in Loganville beside Quick Trip, or online at shoppajewelers.com. Follow us on Facebook to see what's new.
Here's Evan Youngblood for Youngblood Tractor in Madison.
Did you know Youngblood Tractor is much more than just tractors? Sure, we have the biggest selection of Massey Ferguson tractors around and all the attachments you could ever need. But did you know we also carry the Kawasaki side-by-side lineup, like the legendary Kawasaki Mule, Teryx, and Ridge? That's Kawasaki's new cab model with heat and AC. Youngblood Tractor also carries the complete Spartan zero-turn mower lineup, from residential to commercial zero-turn mowers. Combine that with our massive trailer inventory of equipment, dump, enclosed, and utility trailers, you can always build a winning combination at Youngblood Tractor right here in Madison. We also feature a full parts and service department to help maintain your equipment for years to come. Whether you're a full-time farmer, hunter, or property owner looking to maintain your land, Youngblood Tractor is here to make your next outdoor project a success. Call us today at 706-342-2242 or stop by and see us at 1600 Athens Highway in Madison, or shop us 24 hours a day at youngbloodtractor.com.
As we continue to struggle with increasing prices on everything from food to gas to clothing and school supplies, all of us are facing stress on our budget. At Oliver Insurance and Financial Service, while they cannot impact all the areas of increase, Oliver Insurance offers a no-obligation comparison of your present home and auto insurance from the 9 carriers they represent. They also offer commercial, boat, RVs, and life insurance. Call 770-978-9470 to start a quick comparison or visit the website oliverfinancial.com.
Welcome back, Marc McMain, joined by Les Lane, our very own Les Lane. Mm-hmm. Les, you were going to tell us a little bit of a finish-up story to the good old-fashioned whoopings that were being handed out in public school back in the day.
Did you have a shop class up in Michigan where you actually built something?
Well, I went to high school here, so yeah, we had
Oh,
shop
you did?
class here. Yeah,
Okay, all
so I
right.
just was a kid when I was in Michigan.
I don't know if they still have shop classes in high school now or not, but we
They
had
should.
Okay, we had a woodworking shop
Yeah.
class. We were learning or being taught how to build. See how long ago this was. We were being taught how to make an ashtray to give to dear old dad for Christmas
It's
or
a
Daddy's Day.
great skill.
Anyway, we're actually in a physical classroom, and me and one of my buddies are like almost on the last row, and we're just jibber jabbering, and our instructor is at the front of the room, showing the diagrams on the chalkboard of the dimensions, etc., of this ashtray. Are we paying attention? Absolutely not. Then all of a sudden, I'm talking to my buddy, and then I feel this hand that felt like a gorilla hand wrap around my chest and my throat and physically lift me out of my chair like Houdini and ask me if I had anything to share with the class. And I could hardly speak. And I said, no. He goes, well, then I suggest, Mr. Lane, that you pay attention. And he gently put me back down in my chair. After I went and changed clothes, that part I just made up. But anyway, I probably built the nicest ashtray in that class.
No paddling necessary.
No, yeah.
Just the grip of death. Yeah.
And
that's
you
great.
mentioned you can't do that today.
No. Everything's changed so much.
And you can't make ashtrays anymore.
You can't make ashtrays anymore.
Well, and what I remember, and I never got paddled, but I came close. But I never got paddled. When I moved to Georgia in 1980, I went to Allgood Elementary School in Stone Mountain. The principal's name was Mr. Thrasher, and he was famous that his paddle had holes in it, so when he gave you a whooping, it gave a little whistle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, intimidating.
We had a football coach and a baseball coach. They both carried around paddles with them on a regular basis, and they were old baseball bats that they shaved down at the very top and drilled the hose like you're talking about.
So it had a flat side to it at
It
least.
looked like John Wayne and Clint Eastwood walking through the school, you know? Yeah.
That's rough times. That is rough times. Hey, before we continue, because I got another thing I want to talk to you about, Les, and I'm very excited actually about talking to you about. It's a trip to Ireland, or some things they discovered in Ireland. Let's keep Billy Brew, our very own Billy Brew, in prayer. His family's going through some health issues, and he was off the air for a couple of days tending to family. I think he was back on this morning.
I think so.
Yeah. And so keep Billy Brew. We all love Billy Brew. He does a fantastic job Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. I'm typically still sleeping at 6, Les, so Billy gets up early to deliver that goodness to everybody in the morning.
The Billy Brew program, I think he's come such a long way. You know, his forte has always been sports.
Yeah.
Then when you reached out to him about doing the morning show, he talked to me about it, and I said, you can do this.
Yeah.
You got this. And he's turned it in to be a big deal.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
Very proud of Billy. Love having him on in the afternoons with his sports report. It's a good program.
You guys do a good sports report in there.
We have
very
fun.
comprehensive.
We have fun.
Yeah.
We have fun.
It's a deep dive.
Yeah.
So check this out, Les. Archaeologists were searching for the remains of, and I'm going to butcher this name, but I think it's Derrygonally Castle. It's a 17th century structure in Northern Ireland. And they're digging with volunteers, looking to excavate ruins and whatnot, artifacts, and they discovered artifacts from over 9,000 years ago. So this is quite a historic find for that area. Two things that came to mind. The first one is that we never really hear about things like that taking place here in the United States, right? Because we don't have the storied history. There wasn't, I mean, obviously Native Americans were here prior to the Europeans that settled here. It's fascinating when you hear these stories overseas like that, where you have these finds from not just hundreds, but thousands of years ago. And it made me think I'm going to take my first overseas vacation to Ireland with Liliana at some point here in the near future. I'm way overdue on delivering this promise to Liliana, but we want to go to Ireland.
Yeah.
You just went.
Yeah, back in June. Went for my daughter's wedding. Had a blast. We were only there for about 7-10 days. It's a beautiful, beautiful country. Very green, as we've always heard. People are very friendly. They love their stew over there, by the way, so get used to that.
That's a big deal, Stu.
Yeah.
What's the weather like in June? What do you expect?
We had jackets on.
So it's still cool.
It's still cool.
Yeah.
Leslie, my daughter, had told me, she goes, Daddy, don't bring any shorts, but bring jackets and long pants. For fun and giggles, I still packed a couple of pair of shorts just to see. Most of the time it was cool temperatures, but sometimes during the day, while we were there, it got up to around 70, 71, 72. So it's very comfortable. But it's a wonderful trip. Again, the people in Ireland are fantastic folks. Of course, I'm a little biased now because my daughter married an Irishman, but they're just good people, and they like their Guinness.
Did you get to go around and visit any of the castles or any of the?
Well, we didn't do the castles. We went over to the West Coast. You know, Ireland is just a big island.
Right.
That's all it is. We've got more people, population-wise, in the city of Atlanta than there are in the whole country of Ireland.
Interesting.
But we took a bus trip, the typical travel person.
Yeah.
We took a bus trip from the East Coast to the West Coast to what they call the Cliffs. Magnificent. Oh, it's just beautiful. Just beautiful. You got to do that when you go. But we spent a lot of time in downtown Dublin and the surrounding areas.
Was the food good?
Yeah.
Outside of the stew, was there other? I mean, did you go visit like the classic Irish pub? Did they have that like we have here in the United States?
Mm-hmm. You can find my pictures on social media. Oh, look, it looks like Les is having a good time.
You didn't get thrown out of any, did you?
They said I had a really good time.
From what you remember. Oh.
No, but we got a chance to tour some of the colleges over there, the universities. We did take a tour of the Guinness brewery, which is fascinating.
Was it? Yeah.
Their national beer is Guinness. I mean, that is their national beverage over there. But stew is on the top of the menu everywhere you go. Yes, we did visit a lot of the pubs, but they've also got good ice cream.
Good ice cream in Ireland, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it's a great trip. Spend at least a week over there to enjoy it, but you'll be excited to go.
Oh, that sounds like fun. You're listening to the Marc McMain Show. We're planning our trips. Maybe we'll hire you as a travel agent before doing that to be sure we know where to go, where not to go. Yeah. And, of course, if you were thrown out of any bars, I want to know where there were so I can be sure.
Yeah, not to bring up my name.
Not to be guilty by association. You're listening to the Marc McMain Show. When we come back, Elvis impersonator Steve Warren.
Historic Rutledge Hardware is your one-stop shop for lawn and garden. They have soil, mulch, fertilizer, herbicide, pesticides, bonnie plants, flowers, and so much more. They've got you covered for your home improvement projects like painting supplies, power tools, plumbing, and electrical. They're even a Carolina cooker dealer offering cast iron cookware and stew pots, commercial cooking smallware, camper supplies, and so much more. Rutledge Hardware, making customers happy since 1891. Located at 116 Fairplay Street in Rutledge.
Here comes the season for believing, and you better believe that Covington Ford wants to be your number one local Ford dealer. To prove it, they're giving you a lifetime powertrain warranty on nearly all new Fords they have in inventory. For instance, pick a new F-150, get 0% for 60 months below invoice pricing, a lifetime warranty, and one less worry on your plate. Some restrictions may apply, so call for details 770-863-3432, located in Covington.
Serving Loganville and the surrounding area for over 25 years, it's the Main Street Barbershop, 305 Main Street next to Braxton's Auction in downtown Loganville, offering old-fashioned service and modern-day styles. Appointments available and walk-ins welcome. Open Tuesday through Saturday with a friendly staff and atmosphere. That's Main Street Barbershop in downtown Loganville. Call 770-554-3300 or go to mainstreetbarberloganville.com to learn more.
Franklin's Gun Shop in Athens has everything you need for hunting and fishing. They have great prices on their guns, ammo, scopes, bows, gun safes, knives, blinds, tree stands, and rod and reels, clothing, and more. I do all of my shopping at Franklin's, and they're open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday from 9 to 9 and Sunday noon to 6. At Franklin's, you'll get great customer service from people who know what they're talking about. Family owned since 1961, located at 3941 Atlanta Highway in Athens.
Pony Express Gas Liquidators is the place to visit before you make any purchase if you're remodeling or building a new home. They have great deals on just about everything you'll need and up to 50% off the big box stores. Bathroom vanities, bathroom sinks and kitchen sinks, windows, hardware, and still in the box doors and screen doors. Now that's what I was looking for. 2 locations to serve you, 361 Fundenberg Drive in Monticello or Highway 11 in Mansfield.
Your family and friends will love the Christmas gifts from Stripling's General Store. See their huge selection of holiday gift boxes with smoked sausage, country cured ham, beef jerky, jellies, old-fashioned hoop cheese, barbecue sauce, and more. Choose a pre-made box, or you can put together a box that fits your needs and budget. Jimmy Cap, his family and staff wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Stripling's General Store, Highway 78 East and Highway 53 in Bogart.
Welcome back. Marc McMain, joined by Les Lane, Chastity Stewart, our producer. So this coming Saturday at the Social Circle Theater, there's the Elvis Christmas Tribute Show that's going to be taking place. And we have on the line with us Mr. Steve Warren, who may actually be Elvis, or he's at least an impersonator. Steve, thanks for joining us, sir.
Hey, it's an honor to be on your show, man. I'm excited about coming to Social Circle, Georgia. It is going to be tomorrow night. That's December 13th. Doors opening at 6 p.m., show starting at 7 o'clock. And I guess you probably are talking to Elvis himself.
That's what we figured, Elvis. So you must be about 103 years old, judging by math, but you're holding up well, Mr. Elvis. You're holding up well. Tell us, Steve, what was the passion? Were you a fan as a child? What was the passion for you to get involved in this?
You know, one of the things I guess that struck me about Elvis was, he had this thing about him, man, that just, I don't know, I guess that, as the old country boy says, his physique and facade, he had this charisma about him that just got my attention as a little boy. I'll never forget watching the Aloha from Hawaii live as it was being aired from Honolulu, and from that point on, it just, through the years, I've really enjoyed following his career. Now, to me personally, I think he's probably the greatest entertainer that has ever stood on a stage with a microphone in his hand. And we've got some great ones out there. But to me, Elvis was at the top of the line. Oh, and I've had the opportunity through the years with my music to have entertained and recorded with some of Elvis's entourage, his TCB band there. They used to do a show back a few years back in Nashville, where I live, called the Legends Night, and I've had the opportunity to perform with some of Elvis's original band and backup singers, and
wow,
it's been a dream come true for me, to be honest with you. And of course, I'm a little older, but I'm still going to do it till I can't do it no more. But I've been doing this thing since, about 25 to 30 years.
I love it. I love it. And let me ask you this, and I know Les has seen you perform before. I have not. He says that you're absolutely fantastic. Did you discover that you had a voice that emulated Elvis, or did you have to train on that?
But can I be honest with you? Mm-hmm. And I'm not just saying this. When I was growing up, as I said, it just always something that caught my attention. I started wearing my hair like him, and I had people say, "Hey, man, you favor Elvis." Well, the next thing, of course, I've been a singer all my life. I grew up in gospel music with my family. My family traveled all over the country, and to be honest with you, I'm a pastor too, and still do this. So me and Bob Joyce has got something in common if people follow Bob Joyce. So anyway, I just, through the years of singing, I just, I guess you might say it just felt natural, I guess, to me. But, there is a lot of style of Elvis that, you have to critique and work on, because he had range. It was unbelievable. He could get way up and then he could come down low, and he did all that while moving around.
Yeah, so, a lot of moving parts.
So, yeah, a lot of parts moving, absolutely.
Hey, Steve, it's Les Lane. Good to talk with you again. If you don't mind, I'm going to brag on you for just a minute.
Okay.
I had a chance to see Steve, a.k.a. Elvis. I had forgotten about this. About 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, you opened up for a well-known country act. We're not going to mention that act's name. But you stole the show. You stole the show. And I think the main act that was performing that night that you opened for was a little peeved about it. But they got over it. But the crowd reaction, Julio and I were backstage peeking through the curtain at the crowd when you were on stage. And you just had everybody's attention, especially the ladies. And I love the way you work the crowd. You walk out there just like Elvis did with the little scarves and that kind of thing and passing those out to the ladies. And the place was going nuts. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, if you want to get into the Christmas spirit, and if you're an Elvis fan, this is the place to be tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Social Circle Theater. Doors open at 6. I think showtime is at 7.
Can you buy tickets in advance, Les?
You can go to itickets.com.
iTickets.com.
That's itickets.com. Again, if you're wanting, there's Elvis. I don't want to say Elvis impersonators. There's folks out there that do tribute shows to Elvis everywhere. But Steve has got it down. He does an excellent job. And Steve, I know you'll have a wonderful show tomorrow night.
Yeah, Steve, we appreciate you joining us. We wish you the best with this. Hope it's a packed house for you. And, maybe if you don't mind, in closing this segment, give us a little thank you very much. If that's, if that's in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but that's, come on now.
I can do it. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
That's awesome. We wish you the best.
Great.
Thanks for joining us, sir.
Thank you. God bless.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That's too much fun right there.
By the way, between now and 2 o'clock, with your permission, Mark and Chastity, I've got some tickets to give away to the show tomorrow night, and we'll talk about that coming up.
Yeah, we'll talk about
it.
Absolutely. That'd be a lot of fun. I know my mom would love to go. She is a huge Elvis fan.
We can make that happen.
Yeah, she absolutely loves him. That sounds like he is the real deal.
Let me tell you, go to their website. I think it's just Steve Warren. Warren. I hope I'm pronouncing his last name correct. But anyway, just go check it out. Go to our Facebook page, the Real Country Q92.3.
Yeah, you put a link there too, right?
Yeah, there's a link there. Plus, if you go to our photo gallery, go back a couple of years, and you'll see some photos from the show. As you made the comment, he's the real deal.
I love it.
Yeah.
Just fantastic. A lot of fun. You're listening to the Marc McMain Show. Les Lane's my guest. Chastity Stewart's our producer. Chastity, do we have the folks from Stripling's? Are they queued up and ready to talk?
They are ready to go.
That's who we got on the line with this? Is it Addie or is it Shane?
Addie and Shane talking all the good deals and everything going on Stripling's.
That's fantastic. Addie, Shane, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. All right. So I got to preface this by saying for Thanksgiving, I had you guys cater our entire meal. We were a group of about 10, maybe 12, and we did everything from the turkey to the stuffing and everything in between, and it was an absolute home run. So let's open with that, guys. Tell us about if somebody wants to come to Stripling's, skip the cooking, skip the mess, skip the cleanup, what can they get from you guys for Christmas dinner?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can call us, order up, and we can do the full meal for you guys. We do smoked turkeys. We also have all of the sides ready to go. So the sweet potato casserole, cornbread dressing. You can do broccoli and cheese casserole, all kinds of different things like that. Plus the gravy. Those are all ready to go, and we have basically they're in our freezer in our grab and go section. And then, of course, we do smoke the turkeys on site. We also can do, which we do a lot of for Christmas, would be your standing rib roast, your tenderloin roast, pork crown roast. All of those are really specials of ours that we really take care of, and they're a home run hit every holiday season.
Yeah, because you guys are a full-blown butcher shop, the best steaks that you can get anywhere in this area. But I'll tell you this, going back to the sides, Les, the way they do it, they've got them in the freezer section. They're in the heavy-duty aluminum trays. I'm going to say that their sides are enough to feed at least 15, maybe 12 to 15 people. Does that sound about right, Shane? Is that the quantity that one side will cover?
That's right.
So and you pop it. It's got the directions on there. You pop them in the oven, whether you're cooking them from frozen or cooking them from thaw. It tells you what to do. And there is no better way to have a Thanksgiving or a Christmas dinner, especially if you're busy this time of year. Shane, walk us through the butcher shop outside of the specialty items that you have for Christmas. If I just want to come and I want to get a steak for a good old Friday night dinner with the wife, tell me the options that you have on that.
Absolutely. So we carry all of the certified Angus beef choice cuts. So your ribeye, your T-bone steaks, your filet mignon, New York strip, all that's going to be your standard choice. We also carry prime in ribeye, New York strip, and per order we can also have on hand, and especially during December month, we carry the filet mignon prime as well. We also have a large tomahawk steak, which seems to be a crowd pleaser. People really enjoy that. And then, of course, we carry prime pork chops. Have you guys ever had those?
I've never had prime. No. Prime is high rent, Shane. So, that's for the sophisticated palate, but it is worth the extra money when you're craving something a little extra special.
I'll tell you what, if you guys get your hands on some of the prime pork chops we sell here, you probably be eating that instead of steak sometimes.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Les, are you? I'm a ribeye guy. What are you, Les?
I'm a filet guy. First off, good afternoon, folks, at Stripling's General Store. Y'all got Jimmy Camp in that office?
Jimmy Camp hasn't popped in yet.
Okay.
Well, tell Jimmy we said hi.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Stripling's, and of course Jimmy Camp, his family, and of course Shani and the rest of the staff. But I'm a filet guy. I love a filet, especially a bacon wrap filet. But that comes once a year because, boys and girls, I'm in radio. And since we're just overwhelmed with abundance of money,
You're ground beef mostly is what you're saying.
Chopped steak.
Chopped steak, all right.
Chopped steak. Let me give you another thing about Stripling's. Not only is the butcher shop A1, and again, they got the desserts. Don't forget to try the beef jerky. I'm always pushing the beef jerky.
Oh, the blueberry cobbler. I forgot about that.
They got the Hoosier Girl cakes.
Yep.
Now, Shane, you correct me if I'm wrong now. Hoosier Girl cakes. The pies, the cakes, the cookies. I mean, if you got a sweet tooth like me, it's your one-stop shop, Stripling's General Store. But let me tell you what I like to do. Let me tell you what I like. There you go. This is what I like to do.
The Hoosier cakes are really good.
Oh. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to Athens to do a toy drive in Athens. My number one thing to do on my way to Athens, I got to stop at Stripling's and get me a genuine cook-to-order sausage and biscuit.
Yeah,
this is not something that was been cooked 3 days ago and stuck under a heat lab. This is something they made 10 minutes ago, and it is so good.
Yeah, and Shane, tell us, for those that may not be aware, you guys have ready-to-go meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Tell us real quick about the varieties that you offer for those.
Yeah, so as far as breakfast is concerned, all of our sausage is whole hog sausage that comes from a farm down in South Georgia. And, that's all Stripling's sausage, so it's not like something we've bought from some other, place that comes from somewhere around the country. All the sausage, whether it be our link form or breakfast sausage or, our just pan sausage that we sell by the pound is, 100% Georgia pigs, and it's a whole hog sausage, and you could taste the difference in that. It's really good.
We don't want any Alabama pigs. Just be sure there's no Alabama pigs in there, Shane.
We don't take no Alabama pigs.
we want to be sure that we're eating local pigs.
That's right.
We have a lot of great selection. In the food bar, we always have like a food bar Friday. On Friday, we do all your seafood choices, which is catfish.
Wow.
Thursdays, we tend to have, smoked turkey and chopped steak. Wednesday is going to be meatloaf night. Tuesdays will be country fried steak. Monday, we typically do pork loin with gravy. And, of course, everybody lines up on Sunday afternoon at noon waiting for them doors open to get pot roast and turkey breast. And our turkey breast, when we have them on Sunday, it is so delicious. I mean, it is probably one of the most tender breasts I've had for a turkey.
Well, and I'm going to go back. So for Thanksgiving, we got the smoked turkey. That was absolutely hands down the best turkey. And Chastity, you got the same thing too, didn't you?
Yes, I got a smoked turkey as well. delicious.
Yeah,
So,
moist,
yes,
tender,
100% accurate.
No reason to ever cook a turkey
Right.
again, ever. Just go to
Strickland's.
Strickland's, get it. Shane, Addie, I appreciate you guys joining us today. Tell Jimmy we said hi. Give him a big hug for us, and I will be seeing you guys soon for something good. I don't know. I'll be up there for a biscuit or a burger or whatever you guys got under the lamp.
I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Bright and early.
For breakfast, yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Folks, you're listening to the Marc McMain Show. When we come back, Franklin's Gun Shop, David Earl with the fishing report. I can't wait to find out where he is. If he's on a lake fishing right now, Les, that is a man for you right there. Yeah. We'll be back in just a minute.
Your family and friends will love the Christmas gifts from Stripling's General Store. See their huge selection of holiday gift boxes with smoked sausage, country cured ham, beef jerky, jellies, old-fashioned hoop cheese, barbecue sauce, and more. Choose a pre-made box, or you can put together a box that fits your needs and budget. Jimmy Cap, his family and staff wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Stripling's General Store, Highway 78 East and Highway 53 in Bogart.
There's something about a clock. It keeps working even when you don't think about it. All day, all night. Behind the clock is a machine you'll never see. Always reliable, always accurate. It wasn't a mistake when we named our heating and air company Clockwork. Yeah, some folks call us and ask if we can fix their watches. We can't. But we can fix your furnace and air conditioning brilliantly, so it runs like a clock. Runs when you're not even thinking about it. But there's something else about the clock in Clockwork Heating and Air Conditioning. We have mad respect for time. We make ourselves available on your time. We never waste your time. And we're at your house in a timely manner. This is what it means to work like clockwork. Clockwork Heating and Air Conditioning. Clockwork-air.com.
This Christmas shopping season, give the gift of outdoors from Outdoor Specialty, serving Watkinsville and the surrounding area since 2002 with a wide variety of plants, trees, shrubs, ground cover, and more. Plus, you'll find a full line of irrigation supplies like sprinkler heads, pipe replacement parts, and more. Add some beauty to someone's home with a huge selection of pottery, landscape stones, mulch, and more. In the garden center, see their great selection of bird houses, bird feeders, and don't forget the Cole's bird seed. The deer love Christmas too. Be sure to pick up some of Elsie's apple-flavored deer corn. This Christmas, stop in and say hello to Elsie, Diane, and their friendly staff at Outdoor Specialty, 1460 Greensboro Highway in Watkinsville. Wishing you and your family the very best this Christmas season. Call 706-769-8737 or go to OutdoorSpecialtyNursery.com.
The holiday season is in full swing at Boss Brothers, and there's one event you don't want to miss. Join us Saturday, December 13th from 9 to noon for Pictures with Farmer Santa. It's a Christmas tradition for so many local families, bringing the kids, bringing the pets, and capturing a moment that just feels like home. Enjoy a sweet treat from our festive candy wagon and browse great gift ideas throughout the store. Celebrate the season with your hometown favorite, Boss Brothers, located at 3084 Highway 78 in Loganville.
I know it's getting cold, but Loganville Ford is heating things up. That's right, Loganville Ford is turning up the heat with the year-end sales event. We've got a full lot with thousands and thousands of dollars off brand new Fords. If you're looking for reliability and value, check out our lineup of Ford certified pre-owned vehicles. All inspected, road tested, so you can drive with confidence. But hurry, when the clock hits midnight on December 31st, these deals will melt away. Loganville Ford, big savings, hot deals, even in the cold.
And welcome back to the Marc McMain Show. Les, that was a lot of fun. And when you talk about striplings, I start getting hungry.
Yeah.
So we are now going to shift gears. We are going to bring on David Earl from Franklin's Gun Shop. He's going to give us a fishing report. But before we do that, Les, we have a remote. When I say we, that means you have a remote going on at Franklin's. Is that right?
We will be there tomorrow. When I say we, yours truly and April Lynn will be at Franklin's, Atlanta Highway right there in Athens. It's their annual toy drive. We will be there from 10 to 1. We're looking for you to help us put a smile on a child's face for Christmas. every child deserves a special memory about Christmas. And with Franklin's help, with our listeners' help, that's what our intentions are. Got a lot of incentives for you to bring by
some goodies.
toys.
Okay, yeah.
Franklin's is donating a ton of gift cards. This is what I'm going to do. The person that brings the most toys, I hooked up with our friends at the Classic Center. The person that brings the most toys to the annual toy drive tomorrow, I'll give you a pair of tickets to see Clint Black in concert coming up in February at the Classic Center. And plus, on top of that, Franklin's is going to give you a $150 gift card.
Wow.
Second place, I think, gets a $100 gift card. Third place, $75, and the list goes on and on. So, again, toy drive tomorrow, Franklin's Gun Shop. We need your help.
That is fantastic. All right, so I think we have David Earl on the line with us. David, how you doing, sir?
Man, I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. It's Friday.
Well, I wanted to ask you, we're taking bets over here. Are you actually on a lake fishing this morning right now as we speak?
Y'all miss me again tomorrow.
All right, we lost you for a second. Did you say you're going to be on the lake tomorrow?
I will be on the lake tomorrow. I'm going to miss the toy drive. I'm going to leave some things for y'all to give away. And got some great deals going on and stuff, and want everybody to bring a toy. But I have my last big tournament of the year tomorrow, so I can't miss it.
David, can I brag on him for just a second? We've done several remotes over the last couple of months at Franklin's, and I've watched David in action with his customers back there in the fishing department.
Oh, he's a pro.
TLC.
Yeah.
TLC.
Yeah.
If you want to know something about fishing, maybe you're a beginner, and you've heard all the stories about, I caught one this big, that big, that big. You want to be a part of that group?
Yeah.
Go see David Earl. Now, David Earl does not tell no fibs.
No, he's straight up. He's a tournament fisher.
That's right. He's straight up.
That's right.
He's straight up.
David, what lake are you going to be on tomorrow?
I'll be on Lake Hartwell.
Oh my goodness. Okay, is that your favorite lake to fish, Hartwell? What is if you're going fishing, let's say not for a tournament, you're just going to go do some leisure fishing. Where are you going?
I'm going to Lake Lanier and catch big spots.
Wow. Okay. Lanier though gets a little bit crowded on the weekends, doesn't it?
It's pretty crowded, but you're still taking the top 10 places up there in a tournament in a 100-boat field, still taking over 20 pounds to win in a 5-fish limit.
Wow. So big fish up there.
Big fish up there.
So I prefer...
Lots of fun just to go fishing.
Well, I prefer the small ponds that Georgia has. I love those. That's my preferred fishing. But if I'm going to go to one of the bigger lakes, I'm a Lake Russell guy. You and I have talked about it before. When you're on Lake Russell, you kind of feel you're in the middle of Canada almost. You don't see structures. You don't see houses. It's just trees, you, and the water.
Yes, you asked me about that before, about probably like my favorite lake in tournament mode is I'm going to Clarks Hill or Russell because the pressure ain't as big there as it is like Lanier and Hartwell.
I tell people you could fish Lake Russell for 2 or 3 hours before you ever see another boat. Now, if you're fishing this time of year, it's absolutely frigid outside. Are the fish biting when it's 38 degrees, or do you have to change gears? Is there a different methodology to catch those bass when it's so cold?
What I would tell you to do there is get in a boat with me and let me show you. I'm not getting out of bed, going to the lake at 6 a.m. in the morning, blast off and run 65 miles an hour down the lake to catch a fish if they ain't biting. So this time of year is probably the very best time of year to catch your biggest fish and a lot of fish.
No way. Wow. Interesting. Okay.
I'm sure you got heat on that bass boat, don't you? Huh?
I mean, if it ever gets to that point where it's, 32 and not going to get above 40, I'm either going to stay at home or I'm going to have a My Buddy heater in the boat.
And what are the fish doing at this time of year when it's this cold? Are they down at the bottom? I can't imagine they're moving fast, so they have to be sitting still, so you're probably not doing anything that's too fast. Is that right?
Yeah, their metabolism slows way down, so you just have to be mentally prepared to slow down. We still throw a crankbait, but we throw a wider, wobbling crankbait to where those fish can feel that vibration, even if they can't see it, or a big hubcap spinnerbait where they can feel that, or a jig or a worm on the bottom where you can bump them in the head with it.
That's fantastic. You're listening to the Marc McMain Show. Our guest is David Earl. He's given us the fishing report from Franklin's Gun Shop. So, David, we've talked about in the past that we got to be sure there's something for everybody in this conversation. Not everybody who listens to our show likes fishing, but I guarantee you everybody who listens to our show has somebody in their family who loves fishing. Tell us about some of the specials that you guys have going on when it comes to Christmas shopping. This is the time of year. You got less than 2 weeks to buy something for Christmas. If it's a seasoned fisherman or if it's somebody who's brand new, give us some ideas of items that you guys have.
I mean, the Zebco 33 regular $29.99. We got them on sale for $24.99 till Christmas or till I run out.
Is that a combo?
That is a combo. We got several other ones. We got the Arc bait casting combo, right or left hand, regular $149.99 for $109.99.
So think about this. I'm going to pause you right there, and this is why, David. So if you're a mom or a dad and you're trying to buy a gift for your son and you want to get them a nice gift, the Zebco combo is $24.99. That is a great starter set. That means they get the rod and the reel, everything they need other than a tackle box to go fishing. But the second item you just listed, this is more for the guy who's been fishing for a while, because that bait caster takes a little bit of skill, and that's for the guy who's been fishing. And that combo you said is now on sale for $109?
Yes, and I mean it's saving $40 off the combo. But I'm trying to give them a beginner and an advanced person.
Perfect.
Plus, we can put it in there for the girls or ladies. Spinning combos, I've got some of those on sale. Pretty much everything in the whole store, but my department especially is on sale, because the more I sell, the less I have to count January 1st.
So everything must go.
Everything must go, because I will tell y'all, Wednesday, December the 31st, from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. is our annual cost day sale. It's our 51st annual cost day sale. I'll be here all day. We will walk out in the parking lot. You can cast it before you buy it. There's nowhere else around here that you can touch a rod and reel and throw it in a parking lot before you buy it.
Well, and just like Les said, too, if you are looking for a gift for somebody in your family, and let's say you know nothing about fishing, you've never been on a lake, or you've never cast a fish, a line in your life, if you go to Franklin's, whether it's David or somebody from his team, they can walk you through everything that you need to introduce somebody to fishing. Or if you go in and you say, hey, my uncle is a fishing expert, they know where to point you to find a good Christmas gift.
Absolutely. I mean, we got knives on sale, archery's on sale, fishing, guns are flooding out right now for Christmas. Everybody's buying their kids or grandkids a 410 shotgun or a 22 rifle. I mean, they've been going out the doors like hotcakes. And even though to some people it's not fishing weather, sometimes my boss Marc says it's not fishing season. Look, it's fishing season 365.
Amen to that.
So everybody needs to come. If they get a warm day like today and tomorrow, hey, go hit the local farm pond. Go hit Sandy Creek Park, the lake in Winder, any of these places, any of the big lakes. Go have fun. But stay at home Sunday because it's going to be 17 degrees.
Hey, David, it's Les. Let's talk about the clothing you have available, and also let's talk about the toys that you have available at Franklin's for Christmas.
Yes, sir. We good with the cops and robbers. As soon as you come in the door, turn right. All the little pop guns and cap guns and holsters and cowboy hats and things like that for the kids. We got a whole line of clothing upstairs. We have a ton of Under Armour, Drake, and stuff like that. I think a lot of the Under Armour's like half off. We got some really good deals on some of that clothes that we want to move. So like I said, we don't have to count it. Just, hey, ask one of the team members. All they can do is say no. But you can say, hey, is this on sale? And we'll see what we can do.
That is fantastic. David, I appreciate you joining us today, sir, and stay warm this weekend.
Hey, I'm going to stay warm, win a little money, go home, and get ready. It ain't going to be long. Them Georgia Bulldogs will be playing again.
That's what I'm
Hey, send us a picture of your winning catch, too, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all. God bless you, and I'll see you on the water.
Merry Christmas, David.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
David Earl, Franklin's Gun Shop. That's a fantastic fishing report. A little something in there for everybody, Chastity, even if you don't like fishing.
He's so fun.
He's fantastic.
I love having David on the show.
When we come back, we're going to continue our small business success stories. My friends, Trey Long, Mark Engelbrock, stick around.
This is Q92.3 WMOQ FM, Bostwick, Monroe, Madison. Your home for real country.
This is Pastor Stephen Butler from Bible Baptist Church in Monroe with some good news for you today. Isaiah 9:6 says, "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace." This Christmas, Bible Baptist Church is celebrating the birth of the Savior of the world. Services are held Sundays at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. On Wednesdays at 7 p.m., we have children's and youth activities and youth group for all middle and high school students, along with adult Bible studies. There's also an adult Bible study time at 11 a.m. on Wednesday mornings, so there's something for everyone here. Visit us in person at 1180 Old Monroe-Madison Highway in Monroe or online at BibleBap.org and be our guest at Bible Baptist Church of Monroe. And we hope you and your family have a very Merry Christmas.
If you're looking for a caring dental office that can handle all of your dental needs, look no further. Georgia Dental Studio provides routine and emergency exams. Whether your smile needs a gentle exam, a full mouth restoration, or anything in between, they promise to provide you with exceptional care. They do extractions, root canals, crowns, implants, IV sedation, veneers, and much more. Call 770-464-3626. Georgia Dental Studio, 150 Main Street in Jersey, just a short drive from Monroe, Social Circle, Covington, Bogart, and Oxford.
Get a great deal on a Kubota tractor. Built to work, built to last, and as dependable as you are. Right now, write it off the lot and write it off your taxes with 0 down, 5.49% APR up to 84 months, plus instant cash discount and 2 years orange protection warranty. Now through December 31st. Consult your tax advisor. Details at KubotaUSA.com.
Your Kubota dealer is Hayes Tractor, 545 Highway 11 South and Social Circle. Go to HayesTractor.com.
If you're selling or buying a home, you should call AM/PM Septic to inspect your septic tank. This could save you on costly repairs. AM/PM pumps your tank, fixes septic alarms, drain lines. They can fix any problem you're having with your septic tank. Call 770-231-7979. They do inspection letters. AM/PM is family owned and operated, licensed and insured company. Call David for all your septic needs. 770-231-7979.
Is technology giving you a tough time at your home or business? Don't worry, Big Mountain Computers is here to help. We're your local tech experts, now open in Madison. Our white glove service ensures personalized solutions for all your IT needs. Hardware fixes, remote support, private lessons, and more. Visit us at Madison Plaza across from Ingalls or call 706-343-4184 to schedule your consultation. That's 706-343-4184. Big Mountain Computers, turning your mountains into molehills.
Welcome back, Marc McMain. We've spent a certain amount of time this past week dedicated to shining light on small business success stories. Today is no different. I have two of my good friends in here today, Mark Engelbrock of Omni Machine Works and Trey Long of T.L. Williams Masonry. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. So I enjoy this because it gives our listeners an opportunity to hear your journey. I'm going to call this, it's not necessarily rags to riches, but this is a good old-fashioned small business success story where you've gone through the trials and tribulations, and we're going to get to that in a little bit. There's so much that our listeners can learn in just the 1 hour we're about to spend together. But before we do that, Trey, we'll start with you. Tell us about you. Where did you grow up? A little bit about your family and your journey to where you are now.
Well, I grew up all over the country. My dad worked for AT&T, and we got transferred about every 2 years.
Oh, my goodness,
we
yeah.
lived everywhere from New Mexico, New Jersey. We lived in Atlanta, I think 4 different times, Mississippi. I was born in Tennessee during that quick stop.
Bounced
there.
all over the place.
Bounced all over.
Yeah.
And but Georgia's always been our home. My mother's family's all from Covington, Georgia, and now we live in Monroe. I went to started out high school at Walton over in East Cobb, and then we moved out to Covington when my mother took over the R&L shop from her mother.
And you went to high school in Newton County, right?
Yeah, I did. That's where I finished up high school. And then went to Georgia Southern.
Statesboro.
Statesboro, Georgia, yeah. And graduated from there with a marketing degree. And when I got out, I was looking for a job, and we were in a recession. This was about 1989, 90. was in a recession, but I didn't know it.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, my father just told me the best advice he could give me was just to call everybody I knew to network. And I wound up in the construction business selling construction materials, brick and mortar.
So this is your first job out of college?
First job out of college.
Yeah.
Nobody in my family's been in construction, but I just knew I needed a job.
And they said...
So they were hired, and I took the job, and I told them I could do it. So after that, I spent about 17 years in construction material sales, and then finished that up as a sales manager in Atlanta.
And when did you meet Jennifer?
I met Jennifer would have been right before the Olympics, about 1995, because I remember we were at the Olympic Park the night of the bombing.
Oh, no.
And we were still, that's when we were dating.
That's the day Liliana and I met, was in Olympic Park bombing. We had a little synergy there. And you've got two boys. I've coached them both in soccer, wonderful young men, Wesley and Tommy. And it's, they've had a front row seat to your journey, obviously, since they're born. And sometimes our kids, Trey, do not see the trials and tribulations that we went through as business owners. They maybe sometimes as a young person they say, hey, man, it's great all the time. That isn't always the case, and we're going to get into that in the second segment.
Okay.
Mark, tell us your journey.
So I'm originally from, I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana. So my family's from New Orleans. But like Trey's father, my father worked for AT&T, and we moved around a bit. So we lived in Jackson, Mississippi, New Jersey for a while, settled in Georgia. So really, I've lived most of my life in Georgia. I grew up in Decatur. Eventually migrated east to Conyers, Covington area. I wound up after I graduated high school, I went to technical school and studied machine tool technology. Really before that, I was studying psychology and all kind of stuff. I really didn't know what I wanted to do.
None of that gets applied to machining shop.
It does. Have you ever had 20 employees you have to deal with? You need the psychology part of it.
Pays dividends.
Yeah. But anyway, so I went through technical school. I was going to school part time, going to work part time, and I wound up in Covington working at a small shop. Is what happened. And
at that shop, were you like a hands-on guy? Were you a welder, or what was your skill set?
Yeah, I was a machinist.
Yep.
I'm a machinist by trade, and I worked there for 12 years. I wound up running the shop, and then eventually, just through some coaxing with my brother, he convinced me to open up my own shop, and the rest is history. So in 1996, I opened up my own shop. So we're going on 30 years. 30 years.
Goes fast, doesn't it?
Yeah, 30 years.
And Claudia, your wife, she's actually a part of your business. She's a teammate with you.
Absolutely. So Claudia owns half the business. She's the CEO, technically. She works for me. I work for her.
So I was going to say,
so we had to write the first time.
Liliana fires me once a day, or she she quits, or that happens quite often.
I joke around. I said ever since Claudia got half the business, I've been trying to get fired ever since.
You're listening to the Marc McMain Show. My guests are Mark Engelbrock, Trey Long. Jennifer actually has gone on to be very successful in her own right in the real estate world. That's kind of her thing that she's got going on. She's very good at it.
She is. She loves it. I tell anybody, if you want a realtor, she's the one you want, because she doesn't do it for the money. She just loves it.
Yeah, she's passionate about what she does. And Mark, you have two children as well. You got Jacob and you got Camille.
Correct.
And Camille's she's up in Milwaukee pursuing her version of the American dream. And where's Jacob now?
So Jacob is an industrial engineer for Michelin. So he graduated with a mechanical engineering degree and then stayed an extra year to get a master's in business, and now he works for Michelin, really the retread division. Camille got a degree in marketing. They both went to the University of Georgia. Camille works for Milwaukee Tools, and so she organizes trade shows and whatnot, and that's they're both thriving. They're both doing really well.
Well, and again, like I said, when you have parents that have gone out on their own to do their own thing, and our kids have seen what we've gone through. Maybe they didn't see all the tribulations, maybe they did, but they've seen the path. It's a nice table setting for them. They've seen how hard you work at a minimum. right? They've seen you leave early. They see you come home late. And we had a guest on earlier in the week, and it's interesting because I think for young people that want to become successful, there is this mystery that they want to solve at a young age of, hey, how do I knock it out of the park early? And there is no mystery. It's just go to work. It's just roll up your sleeves. Just like Trey was saying, out of college, yeah, would you love to land the dream job? You sure would, but that was a tough time in 1988, 89, or whenever it was that you're pursuing that. You just took a job, Trey, and you began doing something, and then doors begin to open as you show up every day and you work hard. Was that kind of what you saw when you got into the construction sales side? Wasn't necessarily your passion, but doors began to open?
Well, they did. I don't know that doors really, well, I guess doors did open when I started to get promoted. But at first, like you said, it was just necessity. I had to get a job. And, but, through work ethic, and getting up early in the morning and staying after it, I was able to be successful. I never intended for that to be my end job. When I first graduated, my first interview is I wanted to be a pharmaceutical salesman.
That was the passion.
Because that's where the money was.
Yeah, okay, right.
And
you didn't know that there was money in brick.
No, I did not. I thought brick might pay the rent, but I didn't think there was any money in it. So anyway, that didn't work out, so I just needed a job. And then, but by sticking with something, I think, doors will open as long as you work hard and, persevere.
Show up every day. Absolutely. And Mark, did you know at a young age that machining was what you wanted to do? Was that your calling?
Absolutely not. So, it all kind of happened the same way, Strangely enough, even though Trey and I meet until, gosh, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, yeah. Our lives are strangely parallel.
Yeah.
I met my wife in 1995 also, and I started. I think when I started in the machining world, which is I'm really good at. I really enjoy it. My first passion was woodworking, and woodworking is very similar to machining, and so I evolved into the machining world, got a job, but said to myself, man, I don't want to do this the rest of my life. So I started working part-time and going back to school at night with the intention of being mechanical engineering. As it turned out, I don't have the patience for that. Not engineering, because I am an engineer to this day.
A lot of numbers.
Yeah, right. So I wound up, doubling down and became the best I could in the machine shop, and ultimately ran that shop, and that's what gave me the confidence to go off on my own and start my own shop.
And then you're like, hey, maybe this is my destiny. Maybe if this, like Trey just said, if it does more than just pay the rent, if it starts opening doors, hey, we'll do it. I mean, it's sometimes we don't get that glamorous career. It's a path that you get taken down that you don't realize is there. And I'm going to preface our next segment by saying this. So T.L. Williams, this is Trey's company, is a full-service turnkey masonry company. There's a good chance if you live in a home in this area and it's got brick or stone, it may have come from T.L. Williams, providing professional installation of brick, stone, culture stone, and block for both commercial and residential products. Mark, your company is Omni Machine Works, the leading provider of innovative, practical, and total quality machining services for over 25 years. So you guys are getting your careers launched. You're thinking, hey, I'm going to be doing something else in life. You wind up building a very successful machining business, Mark and Trey. You're the king of brick.
I don't know about that.
We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to find out how they got these bad boys launched.
There you go.
Looking for that perfect piece of jewelry designed just for you? At P&A Jewelers, family owned since 1976, we've been helping our customers shine for nearly 50 years. Now proudly run by second-generation brother and sister team, we specialize in custom jewelry design, expert repair work, and fine jewelry for every occasion. Visit P&A Jewelers, where family tradition sparkles. Located in Loganville beside Quick Trip, or online at shoppajewelers.com. Follow us on Facebook to see what's new.
Your call is very important.
Still waiting on your cable company to care? With slow speeds and hidden fees, maybe it's time to pull the plug. Kinetic gives you 100% fiber and gig speeds with 25 times faster uploads than cable. Local service that actually shows up, and clear pricing that isn't there to surprise you. So ditch cable and connect with the right crowd. Get up to $200 when you switch. Visit GoKinetic.com. Kinetic. Internet better. Subject to availability. Terms and conditions apply.
Get a great deal on a Kubota tractor. Built to work, built to last, and as dependable as you are. Right now, write it off the lot and write it off your taxes with 0 down, 5.49% APR up to 84 months, plus instant cash discount and 2 years orange protection warranty. Now through December 31st. Consult your tax advisor. Details at KubotaUSA.com.
Your Kubota dealer is Hayes Tractor, 545 Highway 11 South and Social Circle. Go to HayesTractor.com.
Are you considering selling your house or land, or perhaps find your dream home? Call Stacy McCullers, your trusted real estate expert. With 12 years of experience and a lifelong connection to Walton County, Stacy is here to help you every step of the way. Whether you're buying or selling, she's available anytime to make your real estate journey smooth and successful. Don't wait. Call today, 678-859-6336. A member of Malcolm & Malcolm Realty Professionals. Stacy McCullers, your realtor for life.
Anytime is a great time to make memories at the Yellow River Wildlife Sanctuary in Lilburn. Close to home and fun for the entire family. Not only will you see wildlife up close, like bears, otters, bison, and more, you can enjoy a picnic lunch. There's gem mining and so much more. The Yellow River Wildlife Sanctuary, 4525 Highway 78 in Lilburn. Make plans to visit soon. To learn more, go to YellowRiverWildlifeSanctuary.com.
A Ford Bronco Sport for only $25,000. That's just one of the year-end deals at Aikens Ford in Winder. Hi, this is Brad Aikens, and through December 31st, take $10,000 off the MSRP on select new 2025 Ford Broncos and Ford Bronco Sports. So you can drive a 2025 Ford Bronco Sport home starting at just $25,238. Stock number 04630, MSRP $35,238 with approved financing through Ford Credit and your 1995 renewer trade. Dealer retains factory rebates plus government fees. See dealer for details. Visit us today at AikinsFord.com.
Welcome back. Marc McMain, Les Lane. We're joined by Mark Engelbrock, Trey Long of T.L. Williams. These are small business success stories that we're discussing. Les, this has been a lot of fun. And, I know you think you're retiring, but you better be taking some notes in case you want to get back into business and do something, Les. You can learn something from this interview.
Yeah, I've been trying to retire for 3 years, but Mark won't let me. But anyway, my question for you guys, first off, thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
Very interesting stuff. Once you get your business off the ground, how did you find your customers? What steps did you take?
Well, when we first started, the business, I had a business partner, and when we broke off to start our own business, we thought we had about 5 good jobs in the till coming up.
In the hopper, yeah.
Then once we started our business, we realized we really only had 1.
Ooh. Yeah.
So that was that made you tighten up.
So you ventured out on your own, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Ooh, we don't have the."
We thought we had like 5 good jobs. It turns out we had 1. The economy was bad. We incorporated in December of 2007.
Ooh,
as
that is tough
knows,
times.
Is the worst time for construction in our lifetime.
You're right. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, we had that 1 customer, and jobs were still falling by the wayside because people were just, people were going broke, left and right. But after that, we just continued to call on people because that was my background.
Yeah. That sales background kicked in.
Sales. So I was doing the same thing. I wasn't selling material. I was selling installs, material and labor. And when we first started, we'd do just about anything.
Were you reaching out to builders, real estate folks?
We were reaching out to builders. I had to go back to where I started, going through building permits, calling up every job I could find and just grinding it out. And we would we'd build a mailbox. We'd fix steps. All things that we don't do now. Everything we do now is new construction, but we just called on everybody we could find, and there weren't many.
Yeah. Now, you're right. That was a very difficult time for the construction industry.
Yeah, 07, 08, there was a lot
Brutal.
of empty lots where people had gotten started, and then it became like a tombstone.
Well, and it lasted for at least 5 years. I mean, that went well into 13, 14 before it really came back. Mark, what about you? What was your beginnings looking like?
So I got started in '96, and fortunately, the economy was booming in '96. But to answer your question, I mean, cold calling. I think who I thought I was going to get work from, I wound up not getting any work from, and so there was a lot of times sitting there cold calling, and I would call anybody that I thought needed machine work, and so we mostly the surrounding manufacturers for replacement parts, repair parts. So I worked by myself back then. For about the first year, I worked by myself, and then I hired my first employee, and I was like, hey, wow.
You're big time.
This is great. But it was certainly humbling beginnings. I had to have a shop. I had to have machinery, and so I had to go out and I got on the newspaper. But my brother was helping me, and we searched through the newspaper and actually found a small machine shop out of Marietta that was for sale. I think it was like $65,000.
So like fully equipped with everything you needed?
Everything I needed to get started, which is a beautiful thing because there's a lot of machinery involved in my business, very high overhead. So we bought it. Of course, I couldn't get any money. That was the first thing, too.
That's one of the questions on my list. What about the funding? Yeah, how are you coming up with this to buy this?
Right. So nobody wanted to give me any money. And my father put his house up for collateral.
Bless his heart.
Yeah. Think of that.
And it got me going. And let me tell you, I worked my tail off, and I paid that loan off early.
Wow. Great
to get him out from under that. But the confidence he had in me, I mean, that's just huge to do that. And so that's what got me started. I got a loan. I moved it to the Conyers area. I had a little bit of working capital. I can remember one time, this is kind of a funny story, I got down to like $985. That's all I had. That's all I had to my name, right? And I did have a couple of jobs out there I had billed, and I'm going, when am I going to get paid? When am I going to get paid? And fortunately it hit, and got me out of that jam. But to this day, when I'm quoting a job and it's close to $985, I quote $985. So
that number means something.
That's the truth, man.
Yeah, I love it.
Great story.
No, that's fantastic. You're listening to Marc McMain Show. Our guest are Mark Engelbrock. He is the owner of Omni Machine Works. Trey Long, he is the owner of T.L. Williams. I want to talk about something real quick, guys. And Trey, we're going to come back to you because I know you've got a kind of a similar story where you're at that moment. I'm going to call it the pucker factor, where you're just really tightening up and like, hey, man, how am I going to make this work? But something you both just said, and this is, I think, very telling to a young person or anybody that wants to get involved in a business. We all go through this stage in our mind when we're conceptualizing this business we want to start. And in your mind, you think, I'm going to sell this widget, or I'm going to make this craft, or whatever it is. And I know there's going to be 50 people right off the bat, my friends and family, they're going to buy this product, or they're going to sign up for my services. And you will have family members tell you, and you'll have friends tell you, man, Mark, if you do that, I'm going to be one of your customers. Take that number and divide it by 10. Because in your mind, you think you have 50 customers coming out of the gates. In reality, you probably got 5. And just what each of you said, you thought, hey, I had 5 jobs lined up. It turned out to be 1. You thought you had this pipeline of business, and you're out there and you're having to pound the pavement to find it. So the biggest misnomer in business is you think in your conceptual stage you're going to have customers banging on your doors. It's not going to happen. It doesn't work that way. Everything starts from ground zero. Trey, you shared a story with me before, but I know you had that same experience that Mark did.
Yeah, I did. When we first started, the company I was working for, where I was a sales manager, the guy that was the president of our company that was running it for the owner, he left, and he had been there since college. So big red flag. But then the owner comes to me and says, well, now you're going to be the president, and you get this nice Tahoe and more pay. And I said, man, that sounds great. And but then a few more months went by, and I started to be exposed to more of the financials and seeing what the situation was, and I realized more and more that we were in deep trouble.
You saw what was happening, yeah.
And so he had recently gotten into installs, selling material, but also on the side starting an install business, doing it turnkey. And we had hired a guy years back that was he's one of my customers, but he was like a fourth generation brick mason. And he wanted to get into sales, and I didn't know why he wanted to get into sales, but I hired him because I knew he'd be great at it. And so I told him, I said, you don't realize it, but you're going to be out of work. And so I went.
You saw it coming.
I saw it coming.
Yeah.
So I told him, here's the plan. I said, you can buy in for a portion of it, because I knew I had to have him because he was a brick mason. I'm not a brick mason.
Yeah.
I know the material side, and went to business school. So I told him what the deal was, and he jumped all over it. And then the owner later on came back and said, we're in good shape. We got an infusion of capital. Everything's going to be great. And then the fellow that was my partner, he said, oh, no. He said, we're doing this. So thank goodness he pushed me back over the edge.
To continue with that plan.
Yeah. And we went for it. And Christmas time, December 2007, was when I was without a job. I was incorporated, so I guess I had a job. I didn't have a paying job, and I had 2 kids at George Walton Academy.
Ooh, yeah.
Car loans, mortgage, Christmas time, all the normal debt that everybody has.
Sure.
And but I had to start into business, so no banks would touch us. No banks would give us.
Nobody's going to loan you money, right?
Because back then. Because they said we were toxic because we were real estate. I said, I'm not real estate. We're contractors. And they said, no, we can't loan any money to anybody associated with that.
Yeah.
So much like Mark, my mom gave me a loan.
Yeah.
And she was living on her own, and had money, plenty for retirement, but not enough to be making bets like that.
Sure,
but
yeah.
Much like a parent will do, kind of like Mark was saying, she stepped up when nobody else would. And we had, I think I had $25,000 for our family to live off of till we could turn a profit. And you can go through that real quick.
That burns fast.
And,
that's right.
But we started out, and I learned a lot. Because I realized I had not done a cash flow analysis. I didn't even know what that was. And
they didn't teach that at Georgia Southern?
They didn't teach that at Georgia Southern. Now, and they should. They should teach entrepreneurship. But when I was in business school, there wasn't a class on that, but that's what people need to learn.
I guarantee you they teach a beer flow analysis, but...
Oh, that wasn't a problem. We had that figured out.
I can amen to that. I spent a lot of time in Bullitt County.
Yeah, but the thing is, in our business, it eats cash.
Yeah.
Because we have to pay those masons every week.
Yeah.
And when you start a job and you've bought the material, you get 30 days to pay for it. You got to pay that mason every week. Yeah. So it might take him 3 or 4 weeks to finish the job.
Before you can bill for it.
Then you get to bill it.
Yeah.
And then you got to wait 30 days if you're lucky to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
And we had no financial backing. So, but through a lot of help from the man upstairs.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
And hard work. I mean, we were... it was tight, and Mark gets a kick out of the story that we would. I remember many times just waking up in the middle of the night and couldn't stop thinking about it and figuring out how I was going to make that next payroll. And I'd go sit in a Waffle House with a legal pad and just try to figure out, okay, who did we bill when, and when can I expect that money, and how can I try to get them to pay me without seeming desperate.
Right.
And but it shouldn't have worked, but like I said, we got a lot of help from the man upstairs.
Well,
so
and I just love that story. The visual, again, it's that point where doubt starts to come in. You're questioning what you've done. You're wondering, hey, is this going to work? Did I make the right decision? I've got a family to feed. I've got a house payment to make, and whatever it may be. And I think that every success story that I know of, every person in my realm, that person at one point or another has hit rock bottom, right? Whether they started at the bottom or they had a moniker of success and then they hit bottom. And I'm telling you, Les, the list is as long as my arm of people that fit that. Rarely are there people who just knocked it out of the park day one, and never had a bad time. If you are committed to this process of opening a business, and I don't care if you're 18 or 68, you're going to go through tough times. And what may look like a great economic environment in the current moment, that can quickly shift, and you better have plan B. You better have some source. You're listening to the Marc McMain Show. When we come back, we're going to start to talk about the successful moments when things were starting to turn around for these guys. We'll be right back.
If you're in the construction business, you're going to need a dumpster at some point in time, and that's why you need to call Atha Equipment Rental in Monroe, now offering 20 and 30-yard cans. Atha Equipment Rental now offers a complete line of landscape and construction equipment like tools, trenchers, floor sanders, jackhammers, and so much more, like rentals for your parties with tables, chairs, popcorn machines, Dunkin' booths, and more. Call Jason Atha at 770-207-6041. That's Atha Equipment Rental on East Spring Street in Monroe.
It's lunchtime, and you want some good old home cooking? Then check out Up and Smoke Catering and Cafe, featuring comfort food like country fried steak, pork chops, chopped steak, pot roast, side dishes like mashed potatoes, butter peas, desserts, and more. Open Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Catering available for all events. 116 Main Street in Jersey. Call 770-742-6483 or go to upandsmokecatering.co.
Madison Flooring, located at 1167 Eatonton Road in Madison, is your full-service and professional installation center for all kinds of flooring, from tile, carpet, laminate, wood. They even do showers. They have granite and quartz countertops. All military, police, firefighters, and teachers ask for your discount. Madison Flooring is locally owned and operated. For knowledgeable and friendly service, call 706-431-5152.
Cassie Enterprises invites you to stop in and see their new line of Coyote brand tractors, UTVs, and Bad Boy zero-turn mowers. Coyote tractors have the power to handle any job. Working on the farm, landscape business, and more, Coyote tractors are dependable and ready to work for you. Sales, service, parts, and more. It's all available at Cassie Enterprises. Family owned and operated. 145 Highway 83 in Good Hope. Go to CassieTractor.com.
Lake Life is the Lake Area's largest award-winning magazine, reaching over 25,000 readers. Pick up your copy of Lake Life magazine today. Get Lake Life free at over 100 convenient locations in Georgia's Lake Country. And keep in mind, you'll receive your free copy with a subscription to the Lake Oconee News or the Eatonton Messenger. Lake Life. It's all about the lives and events in Georgia's Lake Country. Call 706-485-3501 to subscribe. Lake Life, the biggest, the best, and it's free.
Welcome back, Marc McMain, Les Lane. We're joined by Mark Engelbrock, owner of Omni Machine Works, Trey Long, T.L. Williams Masonry. Guys, so you shared a little bit of a vision of what it was like to get this bad boy off the ground, some of the perils that you face in difficult times. Mark, I'm going to shift back to you. Now you're in full swing. The business is growing. Let's say you've made it over the hump, and we'll still talk about some challenges that you faced. But one of the nice benefits of having a successful business are the quality jobs that you're creating for the community, whether it's directly by employee or indirectly just because of who you're buying products from. Tell us about the importance of that to you.
Well, what we do is we make replacement parts for the surrounding manufacturers. We do repair work. We also do design and engineer machinery.
So if somebody comes to you with a concept or idea, you guys can take that idea to fruition and bring it to market?
Absolutely. But we're working on a project right now. But we've built quite a few machines over the years that we just had to, brainstorm and come up with a solution. Like I said, we make our bread and butters. We make replacement parts. We do a lot of work for the packaging industry, the tire industry, the boiler industry. The list just goes on. We're very diverse. We're a what's called a job shop, machine shop. So everything we do is very custom. We're not a production shop, so we don't just set up and make a million widgets.
Right.
So everything is
custom build.
Yep. So there's setup time involved.
How many employees do you guys have?
16.
Okay. Yeah. It's a good sized shop.
Yep, we had as many as maybe a little over 20. At one time, we were actually building packaging machinery, the entire machine from the ground up. Now, those were our customers' blueprints, so we're going by their drawings. And most of what we do are our customers' drawings that we work from. But, I think we provide a great place to work. And we treat our employees like family. We have good benefits. And we take care of our people in terms of providing something for the community. All our work really is big industrial customers. So we don't necessarily deal with the general public. Right?
Yeah, it's specialty stuff. And I tell people all the time, it's like, if you're a young person, you go to college, and many times that's a great path to get your career started. Good chance you might come out of college with some debt. And good chance that you may come out of college not having the best paying job initially. Other option is you go to trade school and learn to work with your hands. Yeah. Maybe that's a 6-month window of trade school. Wouldn't you agree, Mark? Is that maybe an average window for trade school? 12 months maybe?
I think when I went through the machine tool technology course at DeKalb Tech, it was about 2 years.
Was it 2 years?
Yeah.
But more than likely you're going to come out without debt, especially if you've got a company that's sponsoring you.
Absolutely.
To go through that. What can a good machinist or a welder make, let's say, right out of college or right out of trade school?
Right now, probably anywhere from $25 to $35 an hour, depending upon experience.
Wow.
Now, if you have a supervisor position or running the shop, I certainly have guys that make more than that.
Yeah.
But in terms of just a machinist, you're looking at probably $25 to $40 an hour, ultimately.
That's great money. Yeah, great money. Trey, how do you guys manage growth? So you start off, let's say you're supplying brick, stone to just one or two builders who are keeping you pretty busy, and all of a sudden you've got a myriad of builders and you are involved in dozens, if not hundreds of homes or neighborhoods being built throughout the community. How do you scale? How do you prepare for that?
Well, you really can't. We're constantly, we have 18 in-house employees, which all consists of estimators, advertising, and project managers.
Okay.
All the people, all the guys that lay the brick, all the masons, we pay all of them as subcontractors.
Yep.
And we run anywhere from between 120 and 130 crews at one time. But it took 19 years to get there.
Yeah.
So it was you had to keep getting more customers, and you pick up more masons, and you'd get 2 or 3 brick crews, and then out of that, maybe only one of them, had the quality that we were looking for.
And that's kind of the concern is, so here you are, if you're a small shop and your builders are loving you because everything is just perfect, the bricks are being laid the way you want, they're showing up on time, and the quality of the product is top notch. All of a sudden you're bigger now and you're doing dozens, like I said, if not hundreds of homes. How do you ensure that what is the magic of being sure that your quality matches your scale?
The magic for us compared to our competition is in the project managers, because we made a commitment from the very beginning that we didn't set out to make money. That's what my partner and I kept always talking about. We set out to be the best, because we knew we knew if we were the best that money would come.
Sure. Yeah.
But people that set out to make money, I think they have a much lower success rate.
That is a lesson for anybody who wants to get into business for themselves. What you just said there, Trey, is absolutely spot on. Focus on being good at what you do, and the success will follow.
Right on. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mark, so you're churning, you're growing, things are going great, but that does not mean you're void of challenges. You still face challenges even as you grow and as you consider yourself a successful business. What are some of the challenges that you face in the mature side of your business now?
Right. So the biggest challenge we face today is probably finding skilled labor, or even trainable labor for that matter. And there's just a huge skills gap, and I'm sure you've talked about it maybe on your show before.
We have. Yep.
And it's across the board. And why is that? It's a cultural shift. There's all kinds of reasons why we moved away from the trade. We could probably have an entire show on that, really. But there's a stigma between blue collar, white collar, and in our trade we need people that with an analytical mind. They're highly skilled. They need to be able to problem solve, and it takes a special kind of person really to do well in our trade. Because we're not a production shop, all my guys are really, they're craftsmen.
Well, each one of you guys, they're I was going to say that before you said they're craftsmen. So you're not just running a line and stamping a press.
No.
I mean, you're working with your hands and you're building something.
Correct. And I'm just going to compare between a production shop. If we had a production shop, we could probably more easily train someone just to stamp out widgets, like you said.
Right. Yeah.
But really, my guys are artists, man. They're craftsmen. They know exactly what they're doing. And they do a beautiful job. The problem with my industry and most of the skilled trades today is everybody's aging out. I think the average, guy in my trade or most trades is 45 years old plus. And so there's a huge gap of people coming behind them. It's just not there. And it's not just in the U.S. It's all over the world.
Let me ask you guys this, if you don't mind. Of course, we got Athens Tech right up the road here, which is an excellent trade school, if you will. Somebody that's out there listening, or maybe a mom and dad listening, they've got a young daughter, son, looking for their future.
Sure.
For example, your job being the brick, and yours over there. Where do you start? Where's a good place to start?
Well, for the most of our guys, they have a diverse backgrounds. My son Wesley works for us now, and he went to Georgia Southern and got a construction management degree.
Go Eagles!
Absolutely, because he knew early on that's what he wanted to do. And now my son Tommy has decided to start working at the company, and he's got a advertising marketing background. But all the project managers, some of them are Hispanic fellows that grew up with their families. Coming up in the brick business.
Yep, sure.
Which they're very helpful, with the bilingual aspect and being connected to that community, because so that helps us find brick masons, helps us find good crews.
Yeah,
cuts down on the bad ones we have to go through with everybody calling us up wanting to go to work for us, and then the rest of them we got a couple of ex-builders that are project managers. We got one guy that used to be in masonry sales that's a project manager, so it's kind of a diverse path. The brick masons are they're all from the Hispanic community.
Right down the road here, one of the homes, they put up 2 new brick, I guess you want to call them mailboxes or what have you, or entrance points, and I watched one guy out there work for like 2 weeks.
Wow.
And now there was weather involved, that kind of stuff. And
that was not TL Masonry, I can tell you right now, Taylor Williams.
Yeah. But anyway, and I would drive by there every day and watch this guy. And I really wanted to take the time to stop and just watch. I just find it fascinating. To me, that is an art form.
It is.
I mean, it's talent.
Les, you get your nose up on a house that has brick or stone, and you get close and look, and you can see the difference between somebody who knows what they're doing and somebody who does not.
Yeah.
Whether it's sloppiness in the mortar or the levelness of the brick. We've all seen poor jobs. You guys did my mom's house. T.L. Williams Masonry did my mom's house, and it is impeccable. And I'll tell you this, too. It's timeless. That house is going to look good in 30 years as it looked the day it was built. It's not the trendy farmhouse style. It's just good old-fashioned brick and stone.
It'll be there when we're gone.
That's right.
Yeah. And you don't have to paint it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to paint it.
Yeah, good point. And in reference to your machine shop, somebody has an idea, and they just take a piece of paper. They go, this is what we need.
Yep.
And you guys make it happen.
That's right.
Again, that is an art.
Well, and I'm going to say this, too, about Mark. You referenced earlier your ability to do woodworking. Mark hand-built a boat. Hand-built a boat of wood. Mark, what was the style of that boat that you built?
It looks like an old Chris Craft from the 1930s.
It is gorgeous. Now, it's hilarious because I think it took you a year plus to do this.
Yeah, about a year and a half.
And I say it's hilarious because when I look at this boat, I would have no idea where to even begin. But just like you said, Les, in his trade, it is truly it's art.
Yeah,
it's craft. And when you see a guy like him and able to build the boat that he built, Trey and I can ride in the boat. We can fish off the boat. But if you asked us to build that boat, Trey, I don't think that thing's floating if we build that thing.
No way. Interesting.
Yeah.
Just like Noah.
That was extremely satisfying, I have to say. But I love stuff like that. I have a very curious mind. I have an insatiable curiosity about everything, really.
Yeah.
I really do, and I'm self-taught. I guess they call me an autodidact, if you know what that is. And so I just have this curiosity about everything, and I research and I figure out how things work. I kind of look at the world a little differently than everybody else. You may look at that and go, oh yeah, look at that. I'm like going, how does that work?
Yeah.
And I'm taking it apart with my brain. There's a funny story because Trey had me nailed. I think you were probably there. We were at the old Hudson. We were shooting sporting clays, and something was wrong with one of these clay slingers, and it wouldn't fire a clay, and I'm looking at that thing, and Trey looks at me and goes, "We're not going to fix it."
But you wanted to, didn't you?
I wanted to. I'm thinking about, I know how this thing works. I can fix this thing.
I said, we got to move on.
We got clays to shoot.
He can see my ears smoking, the gears turning.
That's great. You're listening to the Marc McMain Show. When we come back, more with Marc Engelbrock, Trey Long.
Putting off auto repairs? Do you want a body shop you know and trust? Go see Auto Correct Collision. Auto Correct is a family-owned and operated collision center with over 45 years of experience. Their equipment and training exceed industry standards. No repair is too big or small. Ask about the special drawings and mention this ad for a discount. Visit Auto Correct Collision at 409 Mayfield Drive or call them at 770-207-1241.
Leadfoot Mulching and Grading offers land clearing, hauling of gravel and sand, and more. And now offering screen topsoil for the farmer or homeowner. Asphalt paving and more. No job is too big or small. Locally owned and operated, it's Leadfoot Mulching and Grading. Serving all of North Georgia. Fair prices and great customer service. Phone 404-909-5227 or go to leadfootmulching.com.
Make sure your diesel is ready for every season by stopping in at Leadfoot Diesel. Their technicians have many years of combined experience to keep your Cummins, Power Stroke, and Duramax running the way it should. Plus, they can improve fuel mileage, perform upgrades, AC repair, and they offer tires, wheels, lift kits, and more. Diesel owners from all over the country trust Leadfoot Diesel, 320 Mayfield Drive in Monroe. Stop in or go to leadfootdiesel.com.
Make plans to attend the City of Madison Christmas Parade on December the 13th. Parade starts at 4 p.m. You may enter to be in the parade by filling out a form online and emailing it to chall@madisongeorgia.com or drop it off. It's free to enter. The holiday parade is from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., followed by caroling from 5 to 7 by candlelight. There's a Santa tent and the mistletoes in concert. Mayor's tree lighting and MCH Horse Caroling. Free to the public. Check the website.
This Christmas, K&D Shoes and Conyers has got the perfect gifts for the man on your Christmas list. Check out their huge selection of rugged workwear to athletic footwear from Hoka. Help him step out in style, and a brand new pair of jeans from Marriott. Great for work or a night on the town. If boots are on the Christmas list, see their great selection of boots from Marriott, Georgia Boot, Rocky, Brunt, and more. Not sure what to buy? Then check out the gift cards. One size fits all. This Christmas, your one-stop shop for the man on your Christmas list is K&D Shoes. Open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Sunday from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. 2240 Dogwood Drive in Conyers. That's K&D Shoes in Conyers. To learn more, go to kndshoes.com. Merry Christmas from K&D Shoes.
Welcome back. Marc McMain, joined by Les Lane. Our guests are Marc Engelbrock, Omni Machine Works, Trey Long, T.L. Williams Masonry. We're getting 101 on business formation, start to finish, how to start a business, the perils that you will face, and what success ultimately looks like. Guys, one more question on the business side of the world. Trey, we'll start with you. What's next? You guys are my age, maybe a couple years older than me, so I know that you're also thinking about, the next phase of your life. You built a business and you were successful, but you also want to have an end game and an end goal. Trey, for you, what does that look like?
Well, just this past year, almost this exact same time last year in December, my business partner, the fellow I talked about that was the fourth generation brickmason, he came up to me and said, I think I want to retire. And I said, okay. And when? And he said, in 3 months or 6 months or whatever.
Yeah.
And we already had a buy-sell agreement already set up. We were smart enough to have done that when we first started, and that was really in case something happened to one of us. If one of us passed away, and how would the other spouse, get paid off, and how would that work? So, anyway, we bought him out, and I ended up promoting 3 guys within the business that were already leaders in what their fields were, 1 estimator and 2 project managers, and just elevated their position and said, now's the time you got to step up and, change their pay in order to compensate them based on
the extra commitment.
Based on how the company does.
Mm-hmm.
And that's turned out to be a fantastic move because you're kind of creating ownership, in your employees, and then now they're thinking like you do.
Right.
That everything, they're constantly looking for ways to either save money, retain a customer, get more business from a customer.
Does that free you up more now so that you have more time to do personal things and take some days off?
I thought it would. that was my plan, was to start, because Ken and he was my partner. Ken and I's plan was when we got to 60 that one of us was going to work like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. One was going to work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then we'd just cross over on Wednesday and talk about what's going on. Well, he ruined that plan, and
how dare him!
But then with these guys, I'm re-inspired. With the business, now.
So you're enjoying getting up every day, and
now I'm re-inspired. I was, after doing it for 19 years and having done the brick sales for 18 years and pushing 60 years old, I was kind of, you are looking for other stuff to do. But now I find myself kind of having to make myself take off a Friday because I'm fired up. Wesley, my youngest son, is working there, so we're not looking to get out of it. We now have. People coming along that are going to help take over.
You got reasons to stay engaged,
right? And now Tommy's decided to come work there, my oldest son. So I'm fired up about that.
That is awesome.
So now I've got more reasons to go to work and be excited about it. And but yes, I do still want to drive to Atlanta less. I've been driving my whole life. Millions of miles.
Well, before we shift to Mark with that same question, something you just said, Trey, was the buy-sell agreement you had in place. And once again, advice to any business owner out there, especially if you go into business with a partner, which quite often does not always work out. I don't care if your partner is an unknown entity or your partner is your spouse. It is not an easy deal having a partner. Document. Be sure you have a game plan. Be sure that everybody's roles are isolated and described so that there's no arguments later on of you should have been doing this or I should have been compensated that, and have that exit strategy. Meaning if partner A wants to leave, what are partners B's options to buy the partners A's shares or whatever it may be. Critical, and smart that you guys had the foresight to do that. Mark, what about you? What's next for Omni Machine Works?
Well, my wife and I are about to build a new home in Covington, so I don't see any end in sight. For,
you got bills to pay.
For Omni Machine Works. No, but my son has certainly talked about coming on board. Eventually in the next few years, 5 years. He's doing incredibly well at his job, and he loves it. So who knows where that will go? I don't plan on shutting it down or ending it or anything like that. I've got good people that work for me. They enjoy coming to work. Hey, it's extremely satisfying. I mean, sometimes it's not, sometimes it is, but I don't really have a plan right now other than to keep on keeping on. It gives me something to do. We all got to wake up and have a purpose, right?
Yeah.
And So right now, I'm not sure exactly what that looks like, but I'm open to
not ready to retire yet.
I'm not ready to retire yet, but I'm certainly open to taking as much time off as I can.
I'm going to do some fishing.
Right on.
Yeah.
So, and, you know, I'm just going to keep on keeping on. It's been great. I know we don't have time to tell you how we all evolved, because I think we're coming to an end here, but hey, we'll come back and I can tell you.
We could have a part two with you guys. There's still a lot to dig into. I know something that's important to each of you two guys, your philanthropical efforts. Trey, real quick, tell us about some of the charities that you are involved in that are important to you.
Well, Jennifer and I are involved with multiple charities. We participate with NG3, which is a local organization, which I always think is kind of like Fellowship of Christian Athletes type deal.
Yeah. We had somebody from NG3 on a couple weeks ago. Yep, they were a guest. Yeah,
anyway,
good organization.
The associate pastor at our church is one of the guys that heads that up, and we think the world of that, because I think that we need God back in schools.
Amen to that. Yep.
So however that can happen.
We need God everywhere. Yeah.
And also, my wife is now on the Boys and Girls Club of Walton County, and I'm learning more and more about that charity and the wonderful things that they're doing.
Great organization.
And the other one that we've all three participated with before is Team Up Mentoring.
Yeah.
And it's an organization where they get at-risk youth from the area and bring them in. I don't know how often, but once a week or whatever. But they come in and they get a mentor. Mentoring groups, and then also people like us. We've been there before. We brought the dinner for
prepare the meals. Yeah, it's a great organization.
And it's very satisfying, because the success you have, yes, it came from hard work, but it didn't just come from that.
That's right. God has his hand in this.
It was. God had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
So we just believe that we got to do our duty and give it back.
I love it. Mark, what's important to you?
Well, giving back is important, but first I'd like to say that how pivotal or how important my wife's role has been in all this, just the support and how the business started up, and her eventually being able to come on within about 5 years, and so that's been huge. And in terms of giving back, I mean, Claudia's on the board of the YMCA. We're very active with the YMCA, so we're constantly giving to the YMCA, which is a beautiful thing, and we love our local Y. Trey's wife has got us involved with the Team Up mentoring, and that's a beautiful thing. You can throw money at stuff, but volunteering is really satisfying. I mean,
getting involved.
It's a great feeling, and when we get together, all of us, and prepare those meals or whatever. And don't get me wrong, Jennifer's organizing all this, but it's just a good feeling.
I just feel bad for the kids, because usually about 30% of the meal's been consumed by Mark in the preparation phase.
He does tend to eat up the profit.
Yeah.
Every now and then a chicken finger goes missing. Okay. But my wife's involved, and we're involved in St. Vincent de Paul with the Catholic Church, and then there's Lydia's Place, and Lydia's Place is a
great organization.
Yeah, they focus on young adults who have fostered out or from foster care that are fostered out of the system, and help support them get through college and whatnot. But it's just so important to give back. And I think that we do a good job with that, and it's certainly very satisfying.
I'm a true believer. What goes around comes around.
That's right. That's right. Guys, I know we don't have a whole lot of time left. Real quick, I know you guys are both enjoy fishing. Trey, I think you enjoy hunting. You got some property to go hunting. This is hunting season right now. A little bit of golf, pickleball. Y'all still playing the pickleball, or did y'all give up on that?
No, I play almost every Thursday.
You got game? I mean, is it something you can bring back? I mean, last time I was saying the courts, it's kind of ugly. So I mean, you got something for us this time?
I got muscle cramps and
break out the pickle juice.
I got pickle juice.
What we're going to do next time, we're going to bring you guys back, and Mark, you can bring your guitar, because Mark is actually a very talented musician.
Can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, good stuff. Guys, real quick, in the last 20 seconds each, a message from each of you to anyone that is considering opening their own business, whether they're an entrepreneur or somebody just wants to start a business out of the back of the truck. Trey, we'll go with you first.
The biggest thing is consider cash flow.
Yeah.
Because that's something that my uncle taught me about when I went to him for advice on starting my business. He said, have you done your cash flow analysis? And I said, what's that? and that's important. A lot of businesses they don't anticipate that. The other thing is that I think what's lost in business today is people forget about the customer.
Mm-hmm.
If you put the customer first and you always think about the customer, the rest will take care of itself.
Yep.
Mark, 20 seconds. What do you
Yeah, I totally agree. One of the most satisfying things for me in the early days is just when a customer told me that, hey, you did a good job. I mean, that was so satisfying. And when you get enough of that, the money will come. So it was never about the money. Of course, I wanted to survive, right? But it was really about doing a good job, and the money would come. But, hard work and perseverance, man. I mean, grit is the key. You don't have to have all the knowledge in the world. Be good at something. Figure out what you're good at. Nurture it, but don't give up, okay? Because you're going to have adverse days.
Yep. Don't quit.
You just got to embrace it. Right on.
Guys, I appreciate you both for taking the time to visit with us today. This has been fun, and we'll have you back.
Great. It's been awesome.
Good stuff.
Thanks for having us.
Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas. Yeah, you listen to the Marc McMain Show. We'll be back Monday at noon. Until then, everybody, stay safe.